Wings. This 100.
Sydney Kingsford ground. Kilo 102 Yankee. Request taxi to parking. Kilo 102 Yankee. Taxi to parking.
Okay,
Taxi
welcome
into
aboard, guys.
parking.
It's Tommy
Kilo
here.
102
I'm back
Yankee.
from the 2 weeks. Last week I was sick, so I didn't make any videos. So today we are finally flying in Express server, and we are flying Air China Airbus A319, and today we are flying from Sydney Kingsford to Canberra International. So now we are fully ready, and we are ready to push back.
Sydney Kingsford ground. Air China 872 Super.
So hope you guys are doing very well. Heard that the ATCs are very strict, so I might need to be careful.
November Echo Lima
Yeah,
003.
and our fucking
Ready
internet
to
just
taxi.
went down. It does that all the time. And that's, I think that's a developer, I guess. Still waiting for the pushback clearance. Gonna request it again, I guess.
Sydney Kingsford ground. Air China 872 Super. Ready for pushback. Air China 872 Super. Pushback approved. Expect runway 07. Thank you. Good day. Qantas 16. Pushback approved. Air China 872 Super. November Echo Lima
Pushing back.
003. Request permission to cross runway 34 left. November Echo Lima 003. Hold short of runway 34 left. Hold short of runway 34 left. November
Well, once
Echo
I was
Lima 003.
flying from Canberra, Sydney to Golden Coast, or Brisbane to Sydney. So I found that the Virgin Australia Boeing 787 wasn't pushing from the nose gear; it's pushing from the left the main gear. They used that gear to push back. I don't know why, but if you guys know, please leave a comment and explain it to me below. I'll be really appreciate with it. And yeah, now we are ready, and we are taxiing to runway 25 for takeoff.
Pushback approved. Virgin 101 Heavy. Sydney Kingsford ground. Air France 88
Let's
Super.
do
Ready for pushback. Sydney
flight control
Kingsford
check.
ground. Air China 872 Super.
Yep.
Ready to taxi to runway 25.
Wait, I'm unable to
Echo Lima
taxi to
003.
07.
Hold position. Holding position. November Echo Lima 003. Air China 872 Super. Taxi to runway 07. Contact tower when ready. Air
Okay,
France 88
07
Super.
then.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 34
Whatever he
left.
says, I follows.
Sydney Kingsford ground. Virgin 101 Heavy. Ready to taxi to runway 34 left. Pushback approved. Air France 88 Super. Taxiing to runway 07. Air China 872 Super. Virgin 101 Heavy. Taxi to runway 34 left. Contact tower when ready. Taxiing to runway 335. Request permission to cross runway 25. Virgin 101 Heavy. Request permission to cross runway 25. Sydney Kingsford ground. Southwest 66. Request taxi to parking. Jetstar 135. Cross runway 25. Crossing runway 25. Jetstar 135. Air China 872 Super. Request permission to cross runway 34 left. Southwest 66. Taxi to Air China 872 Super.
Finally, guys, we are able to cross.
Jetstar 135.
Strobe
Request
lights.
permission to cross runway 34 left. Crossing runway 34 left. Air China 872 Super. Jetstar 135. Cross runway 34 left. Southwest 66. Request permission to cross runway 07.
There we go. We have
Crossing
crossed the
runway
runway.
34 left. Jetstar 135. Southwest 66.
Strobe
Hold
lights off.
short of runway 07. Air France 88 Super. Request permission to cross runway 07. Hold short
And
of
taxiing
runway
to 07 and contact tower.
Southwest 66. Sydney Kingsford ground. Virgin 024. Request taxi to parking. Air France 88 Super. Hold short of runway 07.
That's gonna straight and
Hold
right
short of
turn.
runway 07. Air France 88 Super. Virgin 024. Taxi to parking. Taxiing to parking. Virgin 024. Sydney Kingsford ground. Swiss 747 Heavy. Ready to taxi. Sydney Kingsford ground. Whiskey Echo Alpha Sierra 26. Ready for pushback. Whiskey Echo Alpha Sierra 26. Pushback approved. Expect runway 34 left. Pushback approved. Whiskey Echo Alpha Sierra 26. Southwest 66. Cross runway 07. Sydney Kingsford Tower. Air China 872 Super. Ready for takeoff at runway 07. Departing straight off.
Line up,
Air
wait.
China 872 Super. Line up and wait runway 07. Line up and wait runway 07. Air China
We are now instructed to
872
enter the
Super.
runway, and that's gonna be a long time for waiting. Because the main traffic is taking off from 34 left. We need to wait for a gap. You know? That's gonna be a long time. Well, luckily we don't have any traffic coming into this runway though, so that's pretty nice. Line up. And then waiting for the takeoff clearance. Go.
Request
Our
runway
takeoff
34
clearance
left.
has been given
Air China
and
872
we are
Super.
able to go.
Runway 07. Cleared for takeoff. Speedbird 137. Number 4. Runway 34 left. Cleared to land. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 07. Air
There's the
China
line light.
872 Super.
Let's go.
Number 4. Cleared to land. Runway 34 left. Speedbird
Reduce thrust
137.
takeoff.
Sydney Kingsford Tower. Saudia 787 Super is 21 nautical miles to the south at 3,000 feet.
Gonna
Inbound
make
for
a
landing.
right traffic after
Saudia
takeoff.
787 Super. Number
80
4.
knots.
Runway 34 left. Cleared to land. Coriner 226. Exit runway when able and contact ground. Please expedite.
V1 and
Traffic on
rotate.
final. Number 4. Cleared to land. Runway 34 left. Saudia 787 Super. Wilco. Coriner 226.
Request frequency change.
Air China 872 Super. Contact Sydney approach on
Alright.
124.4.
Gear up.
Contacting Sydney approach on 124.4. Air China 872 Super.
Checking with it.
Sydney approach. Air China 872 Super. With you.
Get our
Edit
auto thrust
9192.
on.
Expect vectors for the
Autopilot's
aisles approach
on.
runway 34 right at Sydney Kingsford.
And we're gonna
Delta
fly.
197 Sierra Lima. You're
Following
in an
to
active
Canberra.
airspace. Please contact Sydney approach on 124.4. Air China 872 Super. Roger. Taram 85 is 20 nautical miles west of Mittagong at 24,600 feet. Requesting radar vectors to Richmond. NSW. Oscar India Lima Echo Romeo Sierra 97.
I'm gonna
Contact
request
Sydney
vectors.
Kingsford Tower on 120.5.
Yeah.
Air China 872 Super is 2 nautical miles northeast of
I want
Sydney
him to
Kingsford
vector
at
me
1,000 feet.
to on my
Requesting
course,
flight
so,
following to
yeah.
Canberra. Air China 872 Super.
Alright,
Proceed on course to
then.
Canberra. Taram 85.
We're gonna
Unable
do
at
our
this
own
time.
pattern
Proceed
thing.
on
We're
course
gonna
to
turn
Richmond.
heading to
NSW. Category 788 heavy.
So it's
Descend
gonna
and maintain
be
8,500.
160.
Air China 872 Super is 4 nautical miles east of Sydney Kingsford at
Speed up to
1,700
230.
feet.
Flex 1.
Requesting radar vectors to Canberra. Delta 197 Sierra Lima. Expect vectors for the Isles approach runway 34 left at Sydney Kingsford. Descend and maintain 3000. Oscar Mike Alpha November Alpha India Romeo. Qantas 1353. Turn left heading 340. Descend and maintain 4000. Speedbird 314 heavy. Descend and maintain flight level 190. Descend and maintain 8,500.
Cruising out to be flight level 180.
Descend and maintain flight level 190. Speedbird 314 heavy. Jetstar 369. Turn right heading 310. Descend
So
and
we have
maintain
now
3000.
taken off, and
Maintain 3000
I
until
will speed up this
established on the
part and
localizer. Cleared aisles runway 34
till we
right
are
approach.
we start
Descend and
approach.
maintain 9000.
Hope you guys
Qantas
enjoy the video.
730. Turn right heading 310. GPS approach runway 29 right at Bankstown. Roger. Iberia 889. Jetstar 369. Contact Sydney Kingsford Tower on 120.5. Oscar Mike Alpha November Alpha India Romeo. Contact Civilizer. Cleared aisles runway 34 right approach. Descend and maintain 3000. Maintain 3000 until established on the localizer. Cleared aisles runway 34 right. Qantas 730. Category 788 heavy. Turn right heading 310. Quebec Romeo 13 heavy is 14 nautical miles northwest of Canberra at 30,400 feet. Requesting aisles approach runway 34 right at Sydney Kingsford. Turn right heading 310. Category 788 heavy. Roger. Quebec Romeo 13 heavy. Speedbird 314 heavy. Requesting descent to 6,000. Turn left heading 340. Descend and maintain 5,000. New Zealand 684. Sydney approach. Delta 64. With you. Delta 64. Roger. Descend and maintain 3000. Speedbird 314 heavy. Qantas 730. Contact Sydney Kingsford Tower on 120.5. Delta 64 is 6 nautical miles west of Richmond, NSW, at 5,300 feet. Requesting aisles approach runway 34 left at Sydney Kingsford. Descend and maintain 3000. Maintain 3000 until established on the localizer. Cleared aisles runway 34 right. Category 788 heavy. Sydney approach. Lima Uniform Foxtrot Tango Whiskey Alpha.
Left hiding? So, in today's flight, our approach path is simply from our route to right here, and then we divert from our flight plan and then follow the approach control, and then we fly till the final, and then we contact the Unicom and land. For the approach video, you can click the link in the description below to access it, and welcome back to continue watching the landing. Alright, Unicom 188.70. Switch to Unicom. No tower for us now. Crap. Then there's the Canberra Unicom. Report position. And that's inbound landing. 3-5. Straight in. And now we're gonna we'll turn our heading back to 347. That is gonna be our final heading for the landing, and Yes, here's the landing. So we're now landing, and ATC is pretty nice to us. Now we're on the localizer, waiting for the glide slope, and then we're gonna do auto land here. Let's start slowing down after 10 miles. Sorry. And we have the airport inside and the traffic inside. He is alright. There's 10 miles and we're reducing speed to 260. We can see the glide slope coming up. Flaps 2, gears down. Flaps 3 and auto approach activated. Fuck with the heel. Okay. Alright, auto approach is making my plane do crazy shit again. I'm already used to it. Descending and speed to 250 and flaps full. Spoilers armed. Our landing lights and out, and we're ready to land. Since the weather hasn't changed, so well, the weather is now good. So we're gonna be canceling the auto land, and we're gonna be landing manually. Alright, so autopilot design, and there we go. Keep it steady. Gonna approach by hand now. Turning radar off. And inform them again. Announce inbound landings 35. Straight in. Three miles final. We got a long threshold, so okay. I think they still have a gap to take off, I guess. I don't know if they can or can't. Can admit that we are approaching quite fast. Gonna maintain the glide slope. So no planes entering the runway. We are clear to land. Gonna turn right or left. Gonna turn left to exit the runway. Alright, it's almost minimums now. Turn left to exit the runway.
300.
Our speed's up. Planes. There's 100.
50, 40, 30,
Flares. Read
20,
idle.
10,
Don't need that much flares now. Touch. brakes and decel. So where we're taxiing to. Release the brakes. So we're gonna taxi back then. Flaps and spoilers. Still not clear off the runway. Taxi faster. And there's our exit right there at 1 o'clock. Line lights off. And there we go. And we're all clear of runways. And that's pretty much it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night and a wonderful spring break. If you're living in North Carolina or other states which have spring break this week.